No, I have instructions to, not instruction also, my request also to decrease the activity today because I have two very important class in the afternoon as well. We are revising the day one syllabus for your seniors because their mass recruiter companies are scheduled in September. So yeah, we got to do that. All right. Thank you for when I see Keshav, I remember I got to record so that he can. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Recording in progress.
All right. Boys and girls, today's session is a fast forward on what we have been doing for the last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks we spent building the foundations of the concept of subject-verb agreement. And we are done with it, kind of. So today I'm moving us to a new domain, and that domain is called prepositions and articles. Prepositions and articles would be accompanied, if I get time, by talking about how to motivate slow and silent people in a group discussion. And if still got time, then I'm going to do the FAQs or frequently asked questions about PI. Just to check with you, everything is fine. The audio, the video, everything is coming clear to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Nice to hear that. Better to hear your voice than just hearing my own. And remember, I am not able to give you the practice that you guys need in speaking English simply because the class is too huge and our interaction time is too little. That's why. Okay, so as you can see on this site is the whole list of things we are going to cover over the next this semester and the next. So these 2 semesters in your third year. So we have already completed subject-verb agreement. We are on preposition today. We'll steadily go to adjectives, tenses, vocabulary strategies, and we'll move forward in due time. I hope you like all the topics we have prepared for you. If not, don't worry. All information is free in the world. You don't have to depend on a particular individual to get your dose of data. Here's the first thing about preposition, the definition. What is the definition? It simply shows the relation between two words in terms of location, movement, or time. It shows the relation between two words in terms of location, movement, or time. In Hindi or Odia or Bengali, we will not have this kind of liberty to say Flora lives in Florida. Before actually telling where the action is going to take place, we are already telling the thing, the relation, where the action is going to take place. If it was Hindi, it would have been Flora, Florida. May rehti hai. So that may part comes later on. So until the may part comes, we don't know what Flora is going to do with Florida. Flora, Florida ko jati hai. Flora, Florida se aa gayi. Flora, Florida के खिलाफ है. Flora, Florida के नीचे. So the data is left hanging. It has its own advantages, postpositions, but in prepositions you actually get to know what are we actually going to talk about. Is it going to be a location-based thing? Is it going to be a time-based thing or something like that? So I got some questions for you. And I hope you like those questions because they're really funny. So this is for you, and I'll also share it with the guys who have not come for the class today. You guys are the ET electronics batch. Electronics are the royal batch. Royal in the sense, we'll have to figure it out. What? Yay! I was talking about group one. Okay, so there are 7 sentences there. You got to figure out which ones are wrong. And the chat box is open for you. So it is on the screen as well as I have put it in the Telegram. If you can go and find it, it is there, where I have asked which sentences are wrong. And I haven't got a single chat answer in the box so far. What happened, guys? Why is so slow? One person has says all seems wrong. Another person says 3, 5, 6, 1, 3, 5, 3, 3 to 4, 3, 5, 6, 1, 5, 6. All except 4. All are wrong. 1 is wrong. 1, 3, 5, 6. Yay, guys, having fun there, huh? Well. Gyantit PUBG Army. I mean, there is still option, you guys. You can apply for Indian Army. Engineering positions are open. Definitely get your physique in shape and do apply. But the forces need you. But also, if you are in the PUBG Army, do you join in the PUBG Army? There are certain words in English which have inbuilt prepositions. So the prepositions are already inside them. Join, go into. Join means go into. So if there is a preposition already, what if I put another preposition? Redundancy, unnecessary, extra luggage, making the sentence heavy, cannot be used. So in has to be removed. Same happens in sentence number 2. India does not lack patriots. Okay. And some people feel like, sir, हमने तो सुना है. Lacking in patriots. हाँ, lacking के साथ in लगेगा. Lacking के साथ in लगेगा. But not simply with India does not lack patriots. Okay. So this has to be rectified. Lacking in, lack patriots. When you want to say a quality, then you can say lacking in, or he lacks in intelligence. He lacks intelligence. No. All nouns will not need in. It is okay. It's fine. You can accompany me to CCD. I went to the CCD yesterday because I went to the post office 2 days ago in KIIT. The CCD is shut like a cockroach's tail or wings, always band. क्या है कुछ है ही नहीं उसमें कुछ बचा ही नहीं. Instead, new shops have opened up and they're sitting outside the shop. बच्चे कब लौटेंगे? As soon as they leave the PUBG army, they will come back. Accompany means go with. So there is a preposition with inside a company. You don't need an external with there. Question number 4, many of you said is correct. Some of you said 7 is correct. Some of you said 4 is correct. The thing about 4 is that the disciplinary committee comprises. Now, this is a word which always already means consists of. It has an inbuilt of. It do not need an additional of. If you write consist, then you need of. If you need comprises, then you don't need of. Why is comprises? Because it's committee. Okay. If it was plural, then it would have been comprise. Okay. But the United Nations comprise 200, I don't know, 214 nations, maybe. Yeah. So comprise without of, consist of. How to remember it? Remember it? Well, it's so simple. You are used to consist of. So whenever you get something like comprise, this is an odd news word. Remember stranger danger and don't try to use of here. You will fall sick. Angel Priya resembles, looks like her. Huh? Looks like is already there. So resembles her mother. You don't need resembles with her mother. Mogambo attacked on me. मैंने चढ़ाऊ किया, मुझ पे चढ़ाऊ किया. So some Hindi words do not get translated exactly and correctly. One of them is attack. हमला, हम पे हमला किया. Right? So in English, it does not become attack on us or upon us. It is like attack us. It gives the feeling. I understand. See, when most of us, those of you who are facing troubles in speaking English, the reason is you translate from your mother tongue. You think something in your mother tongue, then you translate it into English and then you speak. This takes a lot of time as well as it carries over content from your mother tongue. And one of those contents is this extra prepositions. Sir, may I enter into the class? I was discussing about you and so many other verbs that don't need a preposition. We feel like adding preposition because our mother tongue, Odia, Bengali, Hindi, all of these have a preposition, postposition attached. Julius Caesar has ordered a cup of tea, masala chai. Ordered for? No. Order means ask for. There is already a for. So take all of these words right next to me here. And remember, then none of them take a preposition, usually. There is a word called reach. Yesterday, I was teaching this in group 1 and asked, guys, if you have any sentence that has any preposition after these verbs, then do tell me. So there was silence, but later I saw that there is someone who has mentioned reached. Reach out to me. Okay. Now this reach is not exactly the in meaning the intended. Okay. So it would be like this. Reach yani pahunchna. Reach out has a different meaning. Contact. Reach for me means grab. Okay. And nothing else. Come on, tell me. If you tell me, I'll tell you what the exact meaning is. In its basic meaning, in the regular meaning, they are fine. They don't need any prepositions. Marry. हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं हम देसी? I'm going to marry to my sweetheart, बचपन का प्यार, etc. So you'll say marry to is not required. I'm going to marry my बचपन का प्यार. Okay. Just like that. Simply. I don't even have to sing a song. You can just, yes, Arigina.
Sir, lack of?
Lack here is actually the noun. A lack of, shortfall of, shortcoming of. It does not the verb. Okay. I lack of, no. I lack sincere students. But I lack of, no. There is a lack. Now there is a lack. A lack is not a verb. A lack is a noun. I'm saying all of these are verbs and that you don't need to use prepositions after them. If you use them in a different variety, in a different version, maybe yes. Right now it cannot. I cannot afford. Now that to is not a preposition. To be casual is a bare infinitive. Okay. To be casual is something bad. It's not a preposition. Recommend for him. What would you recommend for him? Okay, so here, this is a situation where you are actually doing it for some agency, some other part. You don't say like, I would recommend for him. I would recommend him. I would recommend for him. So when I am getting recommended to someone, here also, I would recommend him to you. I would recommend him to you. So I would recommend directly if I'm recommending someone, I don't put any preposition. If it is for someone, if it is towards someone, then of course, yes. So recommend is definitely one of those exceptions I already said that they might exist. But usually you don't say that. You and I go to a cafeteria. They have again opened. It's a beautiful looking restaurant on the top of Royal Enfield के ऊपर में क्या नाम है बढ़िया दिख रहा है आजकल अच्छा बना दिया है क्योंकि तुम लोग जा नहीं रहे तुम लोग जाओगे
अड्डा अड्डा सर
अड्डा मस्त दिख रहा है आजकल एकदम से कांच वांच लगा दिया है मतलब भुवनेश्वर में तुम छत के ऊपर रेस्टोरेंट किया हो समझे हो मतलब क्या बकवास आइडिया है बाकी टाइम में ह्यूमिडिटी बारिश के टाइम में सब कुछ धुल के साफ तो अड्डा को मैं देख के जा रहा था अपन अड्डे में चले गए एंड यू से व्हाट डू यू रेकमेंड सर फॉर टी then can I say I can recommend 2 coffee I can recommend 2 masala chai I can recommend for this no there you just recommend noun nothing else comes in between marry with no you don't say marry with you say marry I married my daughter to a gentleman gentleman yes married someone huh
So,
yes
what if invade?
invade means come into na there is already
sir.
into inside yes
Sir, he got married on 21st June. Like,
yeah it is not related to married it's a date you are saying and then you can say anything he got married in Trupti Plaza he got married outside Bhubaneswar that is not here I'm saying the when you say a person okay yes he got married to the love of his life yes that is happening but when you use it for your personal noun like I am marrying or I will marry then there is no preposition when you are in external yes so
First
this
person and second person, we are not using prepositions. For
yes
third person, we might use it for certain cases.
certain cases exceptions exist and it will be there I ordered him I ordered him yeah so I gave an order to him again this is the first person he ordered now this I have ordered for I can also order for a tea I can order sorry I can order a tea I can order for 2 people I would like to order for 2 of us I can't say I would order 2 of us because then the order will come back to me so I can order for 2 of us. So there are certain places where the prepositions can be used and it is rare. Mostly when you use it, the mistakes happen with these kind of words as I showed you just before what I did here. So let me give you some fundas here so that you will not get confused in terms of location and time. There are 3 major let's say prepositions in, on or at and in the inverted pyramid scenario you can see that the minimum number of use is for at because it's used for really very specific time or location if you're talking about clock times at if you're thinking about uh, dates, days, and weekends, then on, because they are bigger than clock times. Beyond those days and dates, you have weeks, months, decades, years, centuries, etc. All of them will take in. So in is used for big time measurements. On is used for medium time measurements. At is used for very specific time measurements. In the same vein, for locations, if it is a small location or an address, then you use at. If it is a little bit bigger one, for example, a surface, let's say a floor, let's say it is something wider and bigger than this, but not too big, then you have on.
So like
After,
a market.
after that, you have villages, areas, neighborhoods, cities, states, countries, continents, then you get in. So this is a very simple thing to remember. Basically, about specific things you use at on for days and surfaces you use on. After that, it is in. इतना फंडा याद रख लो ठीक है बहुत easy है examples यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है at 7 a.m. the class was scheduled at 10 a.m. Our classes happen on the weekend English classes बाकी सब तो सारा हफ्ता होता ही रहता है but the rest of the classes take place in the week okay so that is there where do your classes take place my class is taking place at campus 12 okay why because campus 12 has an address but if I am going to talk about LT1 or LT2 then LT1 and LT2 are not spots they are 3D they are classrooms they are volumes So when it comes to volume, I'll go with in. The class is taking place in LT1, in CL6, in OD. Okay. Then address is not there. You are referring to that point as a volume, not as an address. Campus 12, you are referring to as an address. Where is the class? The class is at Campus 12. In case you want to refer to Campus 12 as that big area with the rose garden, the hostel, and the this and the that, then it will be referred to as in. Where is your hostel? My hostel is on the road from Chintan to Stadium. So those who stay in that KP, that King Palace, that just next, KP2 is there, and the opposite there is one more KP new one. So these are on the way, on the road, on the way, etc. Okay, but you can find me in the stadium in KSAC. Now KSAC has a sense, the whole KSAC building. If your intention is address, then again at. I know English is a bit confusing, but the rules are simple to remember, and you have been using it correctly for years together. This one is just for the sake of placement, so that you hit the right notes. There is confusion regarding in, on, at. Ask me now before I move to next one. This picture has been taken from a website that has been mentioned there. This is not mine. Whenever you take something from someone, do acknowledge it, that this has been borrowed or taken from somewhere. Otherwise, you will be called a plagiarist. You will be called a, let's say, intellectual property right hacker. Okay, so no questions, huh? Let's move. Okay, this list is also taken from somewhere. I'm not quoted, but it's Shutterstock. So yes, there are certain ways to represent your position vis-a-vis in relation to something else. For example, the cat and the box. There is a major confusion in students between beside and besides. I have not given besides because it cannot be represented. It is just there. But I've given beside because it is physically, can be shown physically. Beside means by the side. Okay. Besides, how many letters in besides? More than there were in beside. So extra letters were there. When you have extra letters, that means usse zyada, usse ilawa, uske alag se. Okay, besides का meaning ही वही है, uske ilawa. Besides, sir, there was also a ghost in the classroom whom we could feel, but we could not see. Okay. But if you saw that ghost standing next to me, then you say, we saw a ghost. We saw a ghost standing beside our professor. Okay. So these are the two uses of beside and besides. If you can see, it was beside. If we cannot see, it was besides. Chalo. Above. I have shown a cat over the box and I have written above there. Actually, there is a small bit of a problem there. When a cat is in this position, it's actually jumping over the box. If the cat is jumping over the box, then it is over the box. It's not above the box. Okay. In case the cat was a helicat, like a helicopter cat, it can hover over the box. Then you can say it is above the box. It is just suspended above the box. Otherwise, it's difficult to just, be like that, stretched out above a box. The satellite is above the earth. You are showing the position. But if you want to show movement, then you will have to use over. These are all location. Okay, location wise. If you want to show movement, it will change. Madhushri, Shashwat, any questions? No? Oh, just joined. Nice to see you people. So yes, if you have to show movement, then you will say over, etc. Behind. Just after that thing is called behind. Mostly you are, if you are getting camouflaged, hidden, or away from gaze, then you say behind. In, that means inside. Okay, the cat is not exactly inside, only its feet are. So it is saying in. If the whole of it goes the box, then it will be inside the box. Another thing is that if we show the movement of the cat from outside to inside, then we will say into the box. If the cat is in the space lying in the middle of the two boxes, then we say between the boxes. The cat is between the boxes. And how many boxes? Two boxes. Under the box. So when the position of the cat is lower compared to the box, we will say under. A major confusion is there between under and below. Okay. Well, when you use it, there isn't much of a difference. Okay. You can say that I was put to rest 6 feet under or 6 feet below the soil. Below would refer to some sort of a reference. Under also requires some sort of a reference. So the discrimination is low. Don't worry about it. There won't be any question where you'll have to choose between under and below. Itna to theek hai. Near the box, that means the proximity is there. In front is the opposite of behind. On means the surface. As I told you, on will refer to the surface. So now the cat is firmly on the top of the box. So we will say on. It's on the box. Now, if the box is too big, it's a dining table, and the cat is walking like on the table, you can say the cat is walking on the table. But if you want to show the movement of the cat from one end to the other end of the table, you'll have to say the cat moved across the table. So there are three words, three prepositions that I haven't told you. One is over, which shows movement in case of above. Then in case of in, the movement is into the box. And if there is the on thing, udhar hai, mera haath nahi pahunchega, kat jayega. So on the box, if it is moving on the surface of something, then we say across the box. Okay, over, into, across. This is it about the location. And there are so many. I would just send you the sheet for this. I don't want to teach you this because it will become too heavy. Right now, I want to give you a poll for you to work on so that you get active about it. Sure. I'm sitting here waiting for you to finish the questions. 10 questions. Usually students take 4 minutes, but since there are some multiple choice questions here, I'll give you 5 minutes. This one that you are saying is a kind of an error correction question where you will get 4 options to replace the erroneous part. And one of them would not be a change. It will be same as what is there on the screen or something. So basically no error wala question is there and 3 changes will be there. So this is there and there are 4 or 5 formats of questions. I'll tell you as the time progresses. So yes, this can be expected. All right.
Thank you, sir.
6 minutes. I cannot wait anymore. I'm done. This is the result of your things that you have done. First one is about Bittu and Betapur. Now here Betapur is his residence. Is it his residence, Betapur, or are we talking about Betapur as a stop?
So it's a stop, sir.
It is a stop on his break journey on his stops in Betapur village. During his break, would need Betapur to be much more longer, bigger than we now think it is to be. So in Betapur is wrong. Sorry, 51% people. He stops. He does not live. If it had been lived, in would have been a correct answer. Stops by Betapur sounds good, but it's still missing a preposition. Stops by at Betapur. Okay. Stops by at Betapur. This is one. Second one, at Betapur is the best answer because all of you guys who said at Betapur are actually have chosen it as a point. See, when you guys come to Bhubaneswar, Patia is where you want to come and stay. You live in Patia and you stop. Sometimes your train stops at that station called Patia PH, right? So because now Patia is a point, it's not being referred to Patia as an area. You will say at Patia. If you come and live here, then it will be live in Patia. So this difference is there. For Betapur, there is absolutely no need for saying that. Question number 2. Our kids live at Kolkata. Since we were choosing a single answer in question number 1, the correct answer is at Betapur, the highest number of answers. Question number 2 is a multiple choice. More than one answers are possible. Our kids live at Kolkata. meaning to say that Kolkata is an address at a point. No, Kolkata is a very big metropolis, and you cannot say at, you have to say in, which 92% of you have chosen. But you can also say near Kolkata. Why? Because Kolkata is not exactly very broad and wide enough to be enjoyed. So would rather go to Pelagachi or maybe to Chandanagar or to Havda, wherever. Just get out of that uh, busy, rushed metropolis.
सर जैसे इन हावड़ा लिख सकते हैं ना सर.
Havda is being thought of as an area of Kolkata. Havda is like south of Kolkata, right?
So we can write in Havra.
You can.
Okay.
So even if you're talking about the smaller areas, Baliganj, Dum-Dum, Dumduma बोला, the Dumduma भुवनेश्वर में, और वहाँ पे दमदम, और वो क्या है, सॉल्ट लेक सिटी, सब ये छोटे एरियाज है ना, तो यहाँ पे भी तुम इन बोल सकते हो. You can also say I live in the north of Kolkata. I live in North Kolkata. But once you want to mention your address, I live at 320 Rabindra Sharani, Kolkata. Then exact point. Okay.
सर लेकिन सर अगर इंडिया की बात की जाए, our kids live in India, वो तो सही है ना सर?
Of course, India cannot be made into a point ever.
तो वो तो बहुत बड़ा एरिया है सर, जैसे आप बोले कोलकाता के बारे में.
Stop ही नहीं कर सकते, उसको एक point बना ही नहीं सकते. Okay, those who live in a home which is their Boring Road, Patna area, how will you say how your residence with vis-a-vis Boring Road? होगा, नहीं होगा किसी से. I live on Boring Road. You mention streets and avenues and roads, you have to use the preposition on there. Okay. Next we come to this one. We have my ex comes to, अच्छा under Kolkata तो possible ही नहीं. जो लोग मेट्रो स्टेशन में रहता है, कौन रहता था वो? सबवे सर्फर रहता था शायद. So otherwise most of you are basically living on the surface. So under Kolkata नहीं. अच्छा जो लोग पूछा था under वगैरह का difference, यहाँ पे उसका clarification है. Basically under, below, beneath, underneath, सबका मोटा मोटी एक ही meaning है, उसका ज्यादा कोई फर्क नहीं है. But underneath and beneath is with respect to a surface, whereas under is with respect to a large body or a contrasting body. Below is used when you're comparing two things of the same class. Okay, my tile was below the professor's tile in the Zoom window. Okay, not under, here below, because both of them are tiles. Okay, the professor's photo appeared below our tiles. Now different class, so under. कुछ खास ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक नहीं होगा, ठीक है, if you use one instead of the other. My ex comes to see me in New Year's Eve. Now New Year's Eve क्या है? What is New Year's Eve?
Function, festival.
It's a festival. दुनिया की
Occasion.
जगह.
Duration of occasion, so time रहता है.
31st of December is called New Year's Eve. It's a date. It's a day. Maybe it can be a event in the evening. It cannot. सेलिब्रेशन क्या होता है, मतलब अच्छा तो फिर न्यू ईयर सेलिब्रेशन होगा. न्यू ईयर्स ईव कोई सेलिब्रेशन बेसिकली नहीं है, unless you do it specifically. So I can have my ex comes to see me for New Year's Eve. If you are thinking of it as a special event, चलो यादें ताजा करें. During New Year's Eve, no. During is used when the duration is spread out, like a vacation. Okay, you could have said during the New Year vacation. But New Year's Eve is a particular day. You cannot use during for yes, Suprajit, what is it?
Just sir, about the first question, you missed the for Betapur. Like,
Acha, Betapur is not a petrol point, petrol refilling or an action. He stopped for refueling. He stopped for dining. He stopped for Falana Dimka.
Yeah, I was considering it as that, like if it is like that.
Betapur, has been specifically, as Indians, we know anything with a pur at the end is a place, not an action. Okay, sorry guys, I got distracted by this gentleman called Suprajit Kayal because it took me back to 2001. We are in 2003 now. During New Year's Eve, not possible. The best answer is on New Year's Eve. And then after New Year's Eve, why would you do that? Did you get assaulted by your present friend that you came to see me or comes to see me? Every day on New Year's Eve, you get assaulted and then you come back to me for emotional support after New Year's Eve. So theoretically speaking, it makes no sense, but grammatically it is acceptable. For New Year's Eve is acceptable in case it is a celebration or an event, but the right answer is during. Wrong answer is during. Right answer is on, and grammatically correct, but otherwise makes no sense is after New Year's Eve. A may be correct. B wrong. C totally correct. D grammatically correct. Question number 4, multiple choice based on question number 3. This complicates my relationship at the next year. Now, year, as I already told you, is when you think of it as a bigger group than it is in. So this complicates my relationship in the next year is correct. But over is not wrong. Over, you are talking about a big span because year is big enough to contain over. We will accept over also. Before the next year, well, there isn't sufficient time between New Year's Eve and the next year. So it's not making sense, but grammatically it is possible. On the next year is wrong because next year is not a surface. It is basically a stretch of time. So A, B, C grammatically correct. D is wrong. Now another set of sentences is 5 and 6. Miss Limca found the crying student into the classroom. No. There is only one possible answer, and that is in the classroom. Found the crying student out of the classroom. Going out of the classroom, maybe. Leaving the classroom, maybe. Out the classroom, no. Student of the classroom, not possible. Some of you have chosen by the classroom. Well, classroom is not exactly on specific spot where you can say by, like by the lamp post, by the tube well, by the water cooler. Yes, a specific jagah. Classroom is a longer stretch. You can't say by. You can say by the classroom door, but the others, it's not possible. You can't say by the classroom. Mr. Lenka saw him going. Now there is movement. There is no location. There is movement. By the river. Yes, by the river is possible. Actually, this will be acceptable. This is an exception. Prepositions have a lot of exceptions. This is one good one. Mr. Lenka saw him going in his classroom. No, in is not showing movement. You have to say into the class. Okay, so into the classroom would have solved the problem, but that is an option in number 2. Going to his classroom is acceptable because it seems towards his classroom. Onto, not possible because classroom is not thought of as a surface. Onto is used when something comes from a different area, upper or lower, to another surface. Onto, he jumped onto the roof. He jumped onto the vehicle's windshield or hood, etc. Going out of his classroom. Correct. A, B, and D are correct. C is not. Question number 7. Sir, may I distribute my placement sweets between the staff? No. When you think of staff, you usually think a bigger number than 2. It's not 2. And once you do that, the preposition available to you is among, not between. Same goes for mother's love, which and when you are considering twins, there are 2 people. The best thing is between. But there are some other options like into her twins. Well, love cannot get converted or divided. Her love cannot be divided into her twins. Love cannot become twins. In certain movies, it has become, but usually it cannot. Love cannot be divided by her twins. Now, there is an external agency trying to divide the love inside. Well, theoretically, it is not making sense. Grammatically, it is acceptable. A mother's love cannot be divided her twins. ये कैसे होगा? नहीं हो सकता. So those 34 people who have said by just her twins, you are not making much sense. Maybe the question is not hitting the right thing because I didn't tell you which part will be replaced. So you just wrote her twins. for some reason. I don't know why you chose her twins. So the grammatically correct answers are A and C. Grammatically incorrect answer is into her twins, and D is not even close. Question number 9. Beside the president, many ministers attended the already told you the answer. Besides the president, because apart from, besides means apart from, iske ilawa. Okay. Beside means by the side. But what else can be possible? Along with the president, apart from the president, besides the president. All of these are acceptable. Also cannot be said, because also is not correctly positioned. You can't write also in a beginning position like that. Also also has either in a middle position or at the end, or you can use it with a comma. Also, the president attended the COVID singers party with many presidents, with many ministers. But this is upsetting everything, so we'll not choose also. We'll either go with A or C. B, along the president, along the president. Along किस नहीं होगा, along with होगा, alongside हो सकता है, सिर्फ along नहीं होगा. ठीक है. Question number 10. The army found a satellite phone besides the terrorist body. Grammatically, this is also correct. उन लोग जब वहां पहुंचे तो उनको एक टेररिस्ट का बॉडी मिला, उसके अलावा एक फोन मिला. ठीक है, ये भी चलेगा. But the question here is to teach you the difference between besides and beside. तो जहां जब वो देखें कि वहां पे एक टेररिस्ट का बॉडी पड़ा हुआ है और उसके साइड में एक फोन है, then you say beside the terrorist body. अंडर उसके नीचे छुपा है, अंडर हो जाएगा. अलॉन्ग साइड उसके बाजू में, ये भी हो गया. अलॉन्ग साइड एंड बिसाइड मीन्स द सेम थिंग. इन द टेररिस्ट बॉडी जरा से ग्रूसम हो जा रहा है, एकदम से खतरनाक. उन लोगों को जब पोस्टमार्टम करेंगे तब मिलेगा उनको, ऐसे नहीं मिलेगा. या फिर ऐसे होगा कि जाते जाते किसी ने वो फोन को गाड़ी दिया. बट इट साउंड सो obnoxious. It's almost like the Dark Knight, where there is a criminal with a phone inside in the criminal's body.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is technically possible, sir.
हाँ हाँ, देखो ना, तुम लोग वो द डार्क नाइट मूवी नहीं देखे हो क्या? I just want my phone call. When he wanted his phone call, where was the phone?
It was a blast. Yes, sir.
Where was the other phone? It was in the it was in the criminal's body. Khatarnak. But it was not just the phone. The phone was attached to an IED, improvised explosive device.
Sir, in the last question,
Yes, sir.
Alongside the T's body, that is grammatically correct, but is it theoretically correct, sir?
Alongside, हाँ, उसके lying next, alongside.
Okay, sir.
It's the same thing, but alongside is basically, when you are talking about something of the similar length. If you are just talking about a grenade, maybe the grenade was found beside the terrorist body because small object. But if you are talking about a rifle or longer one, AK-302, does anyone have any information about AK-302? No? So the AK-302 is a
Indian Army ordered.
No, wrong. It's not the Indian Army. It's the Air
The
Force.
Russian. The Russian.
It was
AK.
ordered by the Indian Army recently from Russia.
It was not ordered by the army. It was ordered by the Air Force from Russia, of course. But it is. I read yesterday it was the Air Force. आज अगर army हो गया तो अलग बात है. So yes, so the rifle is a longer object that can lie alongside the terrorist body. It can be the same beside the terrorist body, alongside. But if it is a smaller object, only you can say beside. You can't say alongside. Along is a longer version that you will remember. ठीक है, तो ये हो गया हमारा खत्म. इसको हम कर लेते हैं सेव. डाउनलोड द रिजल्ट्स. तो तुम लोग का अभी का स्टेटस पता चल जाएगा जब हम अगले साल सोचेंगे कि इनका प्लेसमेंट क्यों नहीं हो रहा है. Because they gave all sort of weird answers. So these are some of the answers for all those things. but चलेगा. तो और क्या बचा बताने को तुमको? prepositions के बारे में कुछ नहीं है. अच्छा, let's go back. This is a homework if you want to take. I'm just removing myself from here. Come on. और एक, हाँ, ये ले लो स्क्रीनशॉट इसका. There are two levels. One is easy, those who have started working on prepositions, and those who already studied prepositions for some time. There are some activities for you. ये ले लो, इसको solve कर लेना. Now coming to the point that I discussed in the very beginning about what was it about? Motivating the slow and the silent speakers in a group discussion. क्या था उसमें? क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं बच्चे ग्रुप डिस्कशन में? Why don't people speak? Number one, they don't get an opportunity to speak. Number two, they don't have content to speak. These are the two reasons why the students or the participants don't talk in a GD. And the solution is also lying there. Give them an opportunity or give them something to talk. How to give someone an opportunity? Everyone is shouting, two people are silent. You are one of those shouters. Suddenly you feel sympathy for the silent ones. Guys, I think we should give an opportunity to our friends over there who have been quiet for some time and listen to what they have to say. Yes, what would you like to say? But this is dangerous. What would you like to say? Because if you have seen them trying to say something, then you can say that. Otherwise, don't give. अच्छा, देव आराम से चुपचाप बैठे, सरेंडर कर लिया ऑलरेडी, वो मेरा जीडी में नहीं होने वाला, फिर तू उसको ललकार रहा है. What do you have to say? कुछ भी नहीं. काहे फिक्र हो रही है तुमको हमारे बारे में? So you should rather check out like whether I should be asking this person to speak or not. Because if it was lack of opportunity, you can provide. If the person does not know anything and you keep pestering him, what would you like to say? Say something, na. Everyone has already said, आप भी कुछ बोलो. जो खुन्नस तुम्हारे खिलाफ रखेगा वो बंदा कैसे निकालेगा तुम सोच भी नहीं सकते. So if the person lacks content, then you can talk like this. Like our friends have been debating extensively about whether we should buy a home early in our job period or should we stay on rent. What would you go for? Rent or purchase? उसको option दे दो तुम, ताकि वो he or she will find it easy to talk on it instead of just क्या बोलते हो बोलो भाई. That is difficult. So two things we learned how to motivate. You can either ask that person to yes, if the person was trying to speak, give them an opportunity. If not, give them some content. Other ways to talk about content would be like this. What is your opinion about the Great Wall of China? Did it really work or was it a failure? Yes or no answer. Pro or cons. Give them choices and options. It will help them figure out. All right, this is it for today's session about verbal ability and
Recording
soft skills.
stopped.
If you have any questions regarding any of this, I'll be hanging around for one more minute. Others, if you want to leave, bye. Have a nice Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day.